tentative though, just in the longhouse control, not taking anywhere else on the map.
But they've got James as a slight spotter up in that top mid position, just in case there is any counter-aggression if misutaaa wants to start lurking away from that short position and trying to get eyes down onto mid. They've taken long without any challenge at all. They've got the opportunity of getting a player down into the pit, using one of those smokes down towards CT spawn, and Magic's just trying to defend from the top side.
And taps forward ahead of the man. The goosh is down onto Buster. It's ZywOo that kicks things off on the right foot for the CT side. Magic still working into that long position as Yakindar charges forward. Does get dealt with. ZywOo is traded at the very least. Sorry, 4 versus 3 can ensue for the Vitality side. Flitz still fighting in from short as Kicker strikes on towards long, and both those players can combine, get their headshots together, and look for the last man on the A site itself. James strikes back towards mid, gets the pre. It's misutaaa standing alone, gets himself a frag, and does have bomb in his domain to hold off against 2 more T side players. He's forced on a reload, and he's well aware of Flit. Maybe less so of James. He knows he's going to be coming in from mids from somewhere. Will he go back towards CT? Yes, he will. Out towards Elevator now. misutaaa backing up, trying to find the angle, making some noise. They know that he's vacated the site.
This is perfect timing for James to work with, and what a recovery that is for the outsiders. When you put yourself in their position and think, okay, James is the mid player, he's creating a bit of space, he's able to get a kill out from the mid doors, this is looking okay. Oh no, we've lost a couple of players down onto long. The recovery is right there. Flick coming up onto the short side, the way the Kicker's still back there, deep in that long position, and then James, after he's dealing with the rotates, he's the finishing blow to make sure that that round's a victory for them.
Yeah, 3 kills in the round for him with that mid flank. Everything coming up good for the outsiders. But ZywOo has other plans. What a shot that is to start for the CT side. Force buying into the scout, and it's worked wonders to kick things off.
Just the advantage they're looking for. Get that scout out, take it into an aggressive mid-duel, try and see if you can maneuver away about getting that first man advantage. But now things start to heat up, and actually, deep mid control is getting gained here by the outsiders, opening that opportunity up for a B split.
One smoke has gone down. The second one towards the boost bot eventually does come through. Buster, meanwhile, acting out to the tunnels, making a lot of noise and charging forward into the hands of Magisk, who gets the kill. A 5 versus 3 now. James next up to face. misutaaa next to full. ZywOo will get one more tag off against him as Yakindar will get the trade back to a 3-on-3. Should grab the rifle with the SMG instead, and now charge into Apex, the lone defender of the A site.
And they've got the information that they've cleared out all of the upper tunnels, but now the presence comes down into the bomb site. Apex dealing with one. On the long players now with the bomb.
Now recognizing that there's nobody else on shore, the taps continue to come forward from that deagle. The flashes also out to the long control. He's desperately hunting for that kill, and that player is blind as a bat, but ultimately nothing more coming forward for the Vitality side. Still the 3-on-2 advantage as the engagement comes from Kicker, does find his kill in the round to a 2v2 scenario, but low HP across all the outsiders here.
Very difficult, because now they're retreating from the long control. They don't have that information to work with the map presence. The deagle out from mid should be able to catch off James, and now Kicker's the last one left up with top mid from the bomb. Dupree seeing that, just wasting time at this point. 20-odd seconds left on the clock. Kicker's on 3 points of health. Needs to get this duel turn into the 1v1, but doesn't quite come through. The refrag coming in, and Vitality make sure that the force buy round comes through for him.
Expensive one, but it does work out for them, and considering it was a force buy victory, that's probably the better option for them. No loss bonus for the outsiders to work from now. No cash in the bank. We'll be force buying into this round regardless here. Scout coming in for James, trying to do ZywOo things out towards mid if possible. Scout definitely kicked things off on the right foot for the Vitality side. It's set in ahead of the smokes. CT's across successfully, and it seems to be a fast play into the tunnels. It won't extend out the tunnels entrance just yet, though.
It wasn't the easiest of rounds in the world from the Frenchmen when you think about the way they had a 5-on-3 advantage. Outsiders now starting to gain themselves that map presence towards the upper tunnels. No aggressive maneuvers so far from Vitality.
Once again, it's only Magisk on the back of plat position, waiting for his chance to strike, waiting for the outsiders to make their move in. ZywOo and Dupree can be a little bit slow to the rotations, but they are held out towards mid, and that doorway will be covered off. Not just by the CT side, but also by a smoke down from the outsiders.
Hey, Kinder would really like to create some space here in mid. Make it uncomfortable for those rotators to get over towards the B side. The first duel coming out towards mid does not find the connection onto the MP9.
The unique use of the notch smoke there. A peek underneath it, try and generate a bit of a one-way. Doesn't quite work out for that individual. The outsiders will form up into the upper tunnels. All 5 players out there. The Tech 9 and the Deagle. First 2 players out of position. The SMG for Dupree getting flashed out, blinded, overwhelmed by the pistol. And the numbers game in the end works out for the outsiders. 5 versus 3. Save call for Vitality already.
Yeah, see ya. B-side Exy. get a couple of flashes over the top and a smoke down to the doors, instantly finding those entries. And for Vitality, the only way they probably go for that without a mid-rotate is if it's an even trade. If it goes back to a 3v3, and then you're probably in a position where you can think about going for that rotation. The fact that both Dupree can't see anything, he's just trying to get back to the car and hoping to set up that crossfire with his teammate Imagis, doesn't really help the situation because look at those flashbangs. Both of those players just could not see a thing.
I do love how you summed up that entire round with see ya, because that really could describe how quick and easy Outsiders burst into that B site. Flash's time well, vision blocked the Vitality, only 2 players there to defend against it. Rotation's extremely slow. And that's to the board of the T side line, regaining that lead. The weapon saved in, but the Vitality side are going to be important into round 4. Do they force around it?
Of course they do. Double eco status for the majority of those players, even with slight amount of money in the reserve and those saved in weapons. You buy it down here, put that pressure back onto the Outsiders. And as a whole, just the entry coming through, Flit dealing with that car player and then kick it with the deagle kill straight onto Magis. Nothing that Vitality could do against that. James, oh, just misses the timing, actually. They don't smoke off the doors, and he kind of jumped down, unfortunately, to the left-hand side of his teammates and couldn't get the shot off.
Yeah, boost coming in a bit awkward there towards Suicide. Ultimately, Vitality will get away scot-free to the cross. Again, the same 2 players, Magis and Dupree, leaving nades, but a bit more aggressive to the tunnel's entrance. They want to try and cut off the Outsiders before they burst into the B site, or even have an attempt to do so.
We saw on the pistol that Vitality wanted to actually take some further fights, take map control away. And I think in a round like this, where you're forcing it back up yourself because of the economy situation, you do really need to start making a play and have that risk factor of searching for an opening man advantage and trying to recover one of these T-side weapons, if at all possible. Very heavy lean over towards that B site, meaning that short is completely open up for Outsiders to use.
Smoking the molly in the mid doorway. Thinking of aggression here for the CT side, it feels like. They'll start making their moves forward for Dupree. He's caught no info and he'll catch no T-side contact. Buster will start to rotate to position, spray through, will catch that player, and Magic finds the responsive. The AK picked up and will now try and hold the tunnels on his lonesome. Might face even further forward, which might be a bad idea. Flit's ready for it. Meanwhile, the hit forms up to the A site.
Yeah, Flit's going to try and catch the timing of Magis going back into the bomb side and can actually put some pressure down on A to bring that bomb back over to B and almost give the indication that it's going to be lean over to A. And look at this now, Flit's going to have an open bomb side.
We're hearing the footsteps dropping down here. Flit's going to spot 2 heads, put a smoke up to the doorway, and that was a perfectly played bait and switch from the Outsiders camp. ZywOo tagged low. Flit can strike with a flank in from mid and kick out. Part Magic's trying to hold back a car, but doesn't manage to hold on forever. Only 1 kill to his name. A 3-on-2 for the Outsiders. Kick out with another flank. misutaaa can't deal with it this time, but tagged low in a 2v2 retake.
They have to go for this because they know they're going to have to eco next round if they're not able to convert it. Yakinda trying to reposition onto the bomb site. Apex going off deep, and it already shows the signs of a save. When you think about that round, tactically speaking, that was a beautiful round from Outsiders. The way that Flit is able to catch that timing of Magis falling back after gaining the weapon in the upper tunnels, the way that James starts putting some pressure with the util down on the short side, and they just over-rotate them completely. The fact that even when Flit starts entering and clearing out the bomb site, he catches both of the mid players, that's just information. And from that point onwards, you just saw the mid flank slowing that whole round down.
And you can see as well, Vitality was feeding themselves to the Outsiders from that position. They read the idea that they would rotate back out of tunnels and start committing to the A site with that fake call. As soon as Magic left the tunnels position, he joined his teammate and they both ran in towards mid. That flank worked wonders for them. A 3-1 start coming in for the Outsiders camp. And you mentioned that Vitality don't have cash to buy, so they won't do so here. This is going to be an eco with an AK and SMG upgrade.
They probably want to try and have as much emphasis forward on the pistols being the bait, try and set up the AK if at all possible. AWP, again, slightly slow getting in towards that top mid position, so no opening duel just yet for James to work with.
Set the nades in and the defaults for the Outsiders. Very little fighting for the longhouse position outside of that pistol round for them. Into the tunnels for the most part when the guns have been brought out. They are still going to hold that angle. Expect someone like misutaaa to try and make a play forward. And with a setup like this, Vitality have got to make plays. So Outsiders have got to be careful. Free. Now boosted up, trying to go for some sort of jump. Base and catch it, Kindle, with a quick flick to the head.
What they don't know with that play coming through is what Flit's been able to do in the meantime. Slowly make his way forward, not recovering any of those sound cues, and James getting rid of the weapon, making sure there's nothing that Vitality can pick up from the dead teammate.
Grab the AWP for himself. Flit Start moving in with the AK, backed up. 2 players round this corner at the stairs angle. Spotting the AK is the third man in the back lines, and that cost him his life. A 5 versus 3 now. More rifles to gain. Jame gonna get caught off with another good trade back from the SMG. A 4 versus 2. Vitality have found some sort of way to pull this round back from the brink now. The bomb drop. Misutaaa knows it. Kicker next to face, but Misutaaa will fall.
And even if they commit towards the A site, they know that Apex is still here with that AK. He's playing up to Car.
Back in an awkward angle, ready for the headshots to come his way. Molotov's missed out towards Goose. The spray through on Kicker ultimately leads to Kicker. It's M4 striking. Now to a 2v2. The outsiders have traded this one. The bomb should go down as Dupree gets away by the skin of his teeth. Kicker running out of ammo on that engagement. This plant is secured at the very least. Are there any guns of Vitality to work with here?
Very clever to get Kickit back passive. He knows he doesn't want to hold aggressive any longer than he has to. 34 HP, just back off there. And for Vitality, recover the safety and weapons. For an eco standpoint, they can be very happy with that. They brought an SMG and an AK forward, and they end up with an AK and an AWP. For Outsiders' point of view, that was a monster play from Kickit. Think about the recovery there in a 2v4 situation and how much impact that M4A1S actually found to recover that round.
But the overall stance for Outsiders should be, why were we even in that position to begin with? There were 3 USPs out in that round on the Vitality side, and the Outsiders get away in a 2v2. So expense taken on the T side half. They should be good for another buy here, but you can see the crack starting to show on James' economy state in particular. It all started with that shot from Dupree. Stylistic stuff from Vitality, getting them pretty far. Now's the time to take a second round.
A slight missed opportunity there by Apex down at the car position not to get a 1-for-1 and instead allow that site to just get overwhelmed completely. And for the Outsiders, I think they're definitely keeping pace of what we know their Dust2 can perform at. 68.1% rounds win percentage on their T side. One of the highest out of any team here in the Pro League on Dust2.
All attention turns towards the buys here for Vitality and the Outsiders. AK safe. Dupree is going to be the main highlight firepower weapon alongside the AWP, of course, for ZywOo. Set in position for James Park. Looking for that first shot. Doesn't quite connect it first.
Yeah, Vitality. Got to wonder what the change-up's going to be. Definitely this time around on the rifle, they're actually contesting the long control and not just allowing it to be free for Outsiders to take. Yakinda definitely feels as if early round, not a lot of presence is being put down towards the short side from Vitality. So Outsiders is just mimicking that and taking the map presence away for themselves.
Once again, down to this slow default for the Outsiders camp. In their positions, putting Utility out as appropriate. Buster with a smoke onto the B tunnel's entrance. Jump facing, caught info on one individual. They'll counteract it with a nade. It won't do any damage.
Just trying to draw that utility away from some of the B site anchors. Buster just continuing to jiggle. Doesn't want to overextend massively and take HP numbers down. And just trying to get a response. Try and get a counteraction of Vitality to make a mistake, to pull an individual forward, to then catch him off completely. Jame here with the AWP is waiting for that rotate from spawn.
Smokes down towards CT with a pop flash indicating some sort of mid-take. The T's won't commit to it, though. Make some noise and set things up to the short position with the utility in particular for Jame. Another Molotov sent out there. A cubby corner which won't drive any CTs away. Again, they're very passive in their positions. Dupree and Magisk, the only 2 players to hold down the B site with the execution inbound now for the Outsiders. Utility flashes thrown over. Dupree will get caught by it. Magisk can swing, take a kill on Flit. Alongside Buster falling. Yakinda with one decent trade. Kick up with another. Dupree, lone man standing on the site itself. Doesn't get away against James Orb. The bomb can cross. It can get planted. 2v2 on the retake again.
Without a kit to work with, it's going to be tough. And you wonder if Outsiders want to try and fight immediately. Jame going to get that molly down towards windows. Slow the whole round down for Vitality.
Stop any progression in that particular part of the map up. In from the B doors, they'll look to go. Misutaaa just peeking in slowly, gonna flash his way over. Eyes turned away. ZywOo gonna peek ahead of the flames, catch Yakinda with a quick no scope, and Misutaaa can respond with the M4. Lock it in a second round for Vitality.
A very good idea there of what Outsiders wanted to do. So Jane was holding the mid-cross with the AWP. He actually chucks a smoke up to Yakinda, who's one of the A fakes, to try and draw the util over. He then throws a smoke from mid all the way to bounce over to get over to the mid doors. The issue they face there is that they don't trade with an advantage. Yes, they're able to 1-for-1 and 1-for-1 with those B-side players, but without giving yourself that leg up, you're going to struggle if you don't fight immediately on that post plan. And look at the impact that ZywOo was able to find immediately on that 2v2, that AWP from window, getting the pick, and then just putting pressure down onto the last.
Immediate tactical pause used here by the Outsiders side, conceding their second round to Vitality. Trying to formulate a decent responsive. Again, the economy is not in a particularly fantastic spot for them. Half buy on the table for the T-side line. The importance of shutting this down right here, disallowing Vitality any chance in this series is massive for them. Again, to reiterate the point, if they can take the series victory, they guarantee themselves playoffs. That's what this match is all about.
I want to know what this eco is about. How much damage is theoretically on the table here? You've got a couple of players with some Kevlar, some upgraded pistols, so many flashes, so indicating another B-side Exi?
Seems to be set piece in, smokes down, Buster first man out, flashes coming in, catching matches completely blinded. Buster spamming his way onto the car position as Dupree will get a kill against Yakinda through the headshot. Kicker also tagged. The bomb will cross and get planted, so there's cash available for the teams in the next round, and it's all down to the defensive and trying to hold off against the retake rifles for Vitality.
Oh, this is definitely doable here for the Outsiders. Just need to try and stall some time. Jame on the other side playing Annie.
I hear those footsteps in the tunnels that keep making noise. Flashes will give away the position. They counter flash themselves. Matches could get caught off, but no, 2 kills. Dupree goes down. Jame also overwhelmed, and Buster caught off by Dupree. The Danes do it again as Vitality find a third.
Yeah, probably not the response that Outsiders were hoping for. So for Vitality, they just played it retake. As soon as they saw the smoke going down and the flashes out, they left the bomb site. They're not playing there at car or backplat or around the default position. Instead, get out of the bomb site, slow it down. We've got our util. We can get some upper tunnels control. We can really force Outsiders to make the play. And that's what ended up happening. The pistol players weren't able to really find Vitality on the back foot. So right, we're going to get aggressive into window. We're going to continue pressing forward. And that's what Vitality were ready for.
Holding down that third round for it, but they did concede a bomb plant back to the Outsiders, so guns are in full. And the AWP as ZywOo is boosted up to find the opening kill of the round. Jame caught headshot wallbang through the mid doors and start off again for the Vitality side. Now they won their first round in this map up. Will it turn to a fourth here and now?
And typically, that's James' domain. T-side AWP looking down into the mid doors, that's where he finds the majority of success when they play this map. Right now, I'm keeping in mind ZywOo with the scout and now ZywOo with the AWP. 2 opportunities of those straight duels in mid have gone the way of the CTs.
I mean, looking into more details as well, you also see how awkward that boost has been set up by the T-side line, how many times have been fluffed there from Jame and whoever's below him. Speaking of fluff ups, this could be one right here for the Outsiders. Vitality pushing in to the long house. The one time the T's don't contest it, and it could lead to the biggest of backstabs. Apex spots Kicker, but he's looking for more. It's the lone lurker in the mid position. The kill gets found, and now they lock it in. They've got to commit hard to the ace site. ZywOo standing ready to receive them as misutaaa tries to lock in the backstab. Doesn't get away with the kills back. ZywOo does find one. Flip tag to 22. ZywOo makes it a double up on Yakinda, and Vitality will flawless their way into their fourth round.
That's a perfect read to come through from Apex. The way that they're able to get the man advantage down into the mid caution. And for Outsiders, they haven't actually put pressure on long for quite a while on the T side. And we haven't seen that info play for Vitality just yet. The only aggressive maneuver we've seen is actually getting into the long house. That time around, there's a little bit of finesse behind it, walking even further forward. And no one's even watching for that for Outsiders.
Off down to the eco now for the Magisk. Towards that mid position, nice nades on, damage will be done, effective, efficient. Kill fast start off the round. The double up not quite there though. The dinks in from Flit, allowing Jame a quick trade. Apparently want to be a bit careful with this aggression. They don't want to give too many rifles away for the T side.
Especially when it's a light eco. There's not many upgrades at all. There's no Kevlar. There's a lack of util. You don't want to be giving up too many lives. And for ZywOo, might get sandwiched in. Has to take the contact and fall back in the doors immediately.
One player crosses ahead of that Molotov Apex. The nades up and the distraction players allow them to grab that M4. A rifle to work with in this 4 versus 4, but where do outsiders go with it here? The bomb's rotating away from the tunnels, indicating there might be an A play on the table.
The longer they waste the time, the more util they're going to be able to draw out from this Vitality side. So just slow it down, try and regain some of this longhouse control. If you can set the M4 up for maybe a 1-for-1, it does open the A site up for a bomb plant. Because have a look at the positioning. misutaaa does not have a teammate close by.
Well, that setup's going to have to come from the individual jewels. There's no utility, no Kevlar, no HP for the outsiders for that matter. Obviously, can't go for a save call given the money state and what you get out of the save on the T-side half. Yakinda caught towards mid. ZywOo with the pick. Doubles up as well towards kicker. Here the taps of the footsteps. Seeing the players almost lined up a collateral right there. The Tech 9 tap as well. As accurate as you would hope for this young man. 10 kills for him so far. And 5 to the board of Vitality. They have the lead.
Good to see ZywOo performing, because so far in this group stage, an underwhelming performance is probably the best way to put it. Positive 8 KD difference, only a 1.03 rating across 9 maps played so far. So what better way for your star AWPer to really show up in the last game where you're trying to upset?
Big showing so far. He's had the AWP battle down pat. This time no one's going to take it from the T or CT sides. We're going to hold down the longhouse position instead as his teammates over on B will start the push up. Again, it's the Danes. Majors and Dupree get the kill on Buster. How coordinated are these two?
It all comes down to pressure, building up into those upper tunnels, working together as a unit, and falling back immediately, not holding on and continuing to fight forward and see if they can get more out of that situation. Outsiders starting to run out of steam on this T side.
It does feel like it. 10 rounds deep as well. We're playing at that 10th round now. Not all that great, considering that the potential of 11-4 half is what Vitality have in the best case scenario. Flash is going over again, going to try and burst into that mid control. ZywOo is going to hold out the short entrance rather. Flash is in from his teammate, going to suppress anyone from Vitality that might peek around the corner. They are going to start pushing in for the outsider side. ZywOo just holds his nerve.
He's not overextending at all, not over-facing with this AWP, holding that slight angle, waiting for a util placement to go down, and then he can start to act.
Smoke's on. ZywOo looks towards the outside of said smoke, gets the shot off and dives back down towards CT. Still looking for an angle with an M4 right behind him. Another one onto the long control as well. It's an AK in the hands of misutaaa. Flash is continuing to keep him blind. Apex starting to tank some damage, as is ZywOo here. Continues to look for the angles though. 20 seconds, the T's are going to make an action, and Flit will finally fall alongside kicker to the hands of misutaaa. Yakinda finds his flank, looks for Apex, and transfers through the smoke as well. Needs to get the triple, but can't quite lock it in. James can do so. Got to grab the bomb, got to get the plant immediately.
Get that bomb down, then see if he can set himself up for the 1v2. They're not giving them respect, they're charging.
They've seen the jump face. James now knows what's going on. AWP against them both. Shot doesn't connect as Dupree peaks with Major Spate, and it will be a 6th round of Vitality now.
And when you look at the setup there for Vitality, all it comes down to is misutaaa not over-rotating. You've got ZywOo and Apex that are sort of grouped together around that utility on the ramp position, and what outsiders are really hoping is that super late lurk from kicker out in long is going to be able to open up, to catch the players sleeping off guard. And while, yes, Apex and ZywOo are looking and keeping their attention down onto short, it's misutaaa that holds. And once he deals with that lurk, it really ruins the chances of any more being found. Great play for Yakinda to try and get anything back, but unfortunately not enough. 6 on the board for Vitality. This is looking dominant.
Yeah, 2 to the lead. Outsiders got their initial conversions. Pistol brought back by Vitality, and then the 3 on the trot for the Outsiders side, and now Vitality have taken all sorts of control. Outsiders trying some different variations on their setups. Jame a much more passive angle in that suicide position initially, looking down to the tunnel's entrance at lower. Now Outsiders boosting top of bed here in the long house. All setting for them, but receiving nothing of the T-side. Vitality happy to sit pretty and wait, or except for misutaaa, who wants to round the corner, looks to kick up shoulder, spray through, doesn't get the kill he needs.
Now, finally, the mistake the Outsiders are looking for. ZywOo responding with the AWP. That's the lurk on the short side dealt with. Outsiders have got complete long control, but look at the damage they've taken because of it.
Yeah, the spray through from, I believe that was Apex in that position. Kicker, James, Flair, all tagged to 50, 26, 1 HP. AWP as ZywOo on that short presence locked out the kill against Yakinda. So despite Outsider's early start punishing misutaaa's over aggression, things have not worked out in their favor when we slow things back down. 40 seconds, mid being taken as one player to defend against them.
As I was just waiting for some of that util to come over to get an indication that Long is furtherly being moved over. And for Kickit, he's desperate to get this car pick.
Flash is going over, trying to force out ZywOo into an Orcan angle. He peeks and catches him, switching to utility to go to the A site execution. Apex ahead of the smoke. Knows that there must be presence back here. They were setting up for some sort of util play from the short position. 10 seconds to the clock. They're going to go for the safe call. Apex will get caught off for it, so it will be an exit frag, but so little time to get into the bomb site, and the Outsiders will concede 7 back to Vitality. Yeah, this is starting to look real good, and the nades late round catching Flit, decimating the economy state for him.
And that's the worst case scenario. And you can see it happening. Just because Flit is on such low HP, all it's going to take is a single flyover a nade, and he's done for. After time 2, just ruins the money state completely. And for Outsiders, the difficult nature they're finding is lack of opening man advantages, and when they do come, actually holding on to it. Notice how quickly, once they dealt with misutaaa at long, they lost the pick to ZywOo.
Where do we go from here? Outsiders obviously forcing around the weapons they saved. They need to get some rounds on the board. They need to do it soon. First half is starting to run away from them. They're taking 1 tactical pause thus far. Again, they're the ones that have something to play for here. They're the ones with the game to win. Also the pressure against them if they lose. Default set in carefully, taking map control. Vitality as passive as you could ask them to be. Outsiders just seeing nothing so far.
Lack of individual success with some of the numbers being posted too by the Outsiders. The highest rated player on this map for Outsiders is Yakinda, averaging a 1.34 rating. Haven't seen much out from him other than that multi-frag down onto the A site, which didn't even bring the round together. Vitality just working with a round streak one after the other. And knowing too that they've got a chokehold on the economy, this could further their momentum for the rest of the half if they're able to capitalize on a round like this.
40 seconds. Set up the smokes into the CT spawn. Now try and go their way from mid to B. Magis counter flash. Him and Dupree standing alone once again, siphon off from their teammates. They've got to stand and fight and hold down a site. They do lose Magis, but Dupree makes it a double. Only a double. A 3v3 for the retake.
Outsiders really need to try and take a duel, and that's why James got so aggressive out from window. Perfect flash drives him away.
Gonna find an angle ahead of the Xbox, though. A crack has been found. Nothing definitive. The real attention turns towards Buster here in the corner. Do Vitality check this position, because he could be the round winner right here. misutaaa and Apex both checking the tunnel's entrance kill. Found spray. Not quite great for the second man. Now James got a lot of work to do covering both sides of the site. Peeks in and misses his shot. M4 gets traded up by Yakinda. And now it's ZywOo taking 1 and not hitting the no-scope on the second. Finally, the Outsiders break the streak and get 5.
And just what we wanted to see from the Outsiders is an individual stepping up, to be a playmaker, to create impact. And Yakinda's exactly that guy. 4 kills in the round. Massive work being found onto the bomb side. And you just felt as if the 1-for-1 trading that was coming through, the time stalling, and then the way of just isolating the last couple of players, making there no way that ZywOo can get that retake off. Outsiders, that was a much needed 5th by them.
Vitality looking to strike back hard in the follow-up round, though. Double orbs for ZywOo and Dupree. ZywOo peeking in first. What a flick that is. Great shot, not counteracted by Yakinda. Not extending around that corner for a second time. He backs off all the way to the B site.
That makes it look easy. And now with that play in mind, misutaaa's got aggressive. He's now clearing out all of this longhouse and hasn't seen anything.
He has seen James now and drops him with the bomb. A 5 versus 3 for Vitality here, with Dominion over a very crucial part of the map, a very crucial device that the Outsiders need. Kicker is trying to push forward against it. ZywOo does get caught back in trade, so there is one responsive, and Buster is hunting for this M4. A second man has started to join him, though, so it's not going to be the easiest affair in the world here. Buster leaning in, hearing the Molotovs being thrown down, checking all corners, checking for Apex, winning that fight, unawares of where misutaaa is, who makes it a double. Magic strikes on Yakinda out towards mid to B, so it's Kicker in a 1v3.
Man, what a hero play that is for Apex. Yeah, he's able to not find a kill, but it's keeping misutaaa alive and gathering information. Misutaa's gained bomb control. He's got all the information, but he needs that extra man to trade off, to peek on one another. And now for Kicking, he's just got to try and isolate some of these duels. Doesn't happen at all. An 8th gets found by the CT side. And knowing the economy's already wrecked by the Ts, they don't even get a bomb plant. They can't even get the bomb close to a bomb site. That now questions, what are we actually going to buy in round 19?
A force-up, it seems. AK's, Galil's coming in. Outsider's going to commit hard to this one. All right. They are not going to try for the round 15 buy. Commit hard in round 14 instead. Only one AK to spare them, though. Certainly no warps. Again, contrary to Vitality, you still have 2. Magisk also with aggression straight up mid. Outsiders have not been able to account for this. James can get caught off guard. It all depends on timing and position of the crosshair, the head being seen. Magisk unable to get the kill.
He needs some support now. Doesn't have teammates around him. ZywOo with the AWP, making sure there's no wrap to come in from the upper tunnels. Magisk just trying to get a 1-for-1. Doesn't quite happen. It's the information, though. The players spotted around that top mid position and the bomb too, but they lose misutaaa. The trades keep coming.
Apex holding onto that position very nicely here. It was going to be a case that they only lost a rifle versus pistol trade, so it would have worked out better for the Outsiders. Now Galil going to get traded back and passed off towards James here. Flit will try to recover that weapon. Forward. Ooh, footstep noises being made. Apex gonna catch him. Headshot found. James got to find the trade, desperately so, and indeed he lands it with the bomb being given away the information. He might try the rotation. Indeed he will. Buster's gonna catch both their backs turn. A lineup moment, but only for a moment. A moment which he didn't shoot either. And now gonna draw their attention back. The bomb's still gonna commit to the B site. Buster's gonna get overwhelmed here. Surely he must against 2 players. He can't hold off forever. And indeed ZywOo catches the frag.
In theory, it's the right play. You've gained the B site. You want to bring that bomb over. But because the contact gains so quickly, look how long it's going to take Jane with the bomb to get right back over. ZywOo gets caught down into the lower tunnels. He's got to get the smoke into mid to lean up to A.
Flash is going to try go for a directive face. James. 17 seconds. He's got to try win the fight now. Dupree's watching it from the mid doorway. AWP not even required. A 5-7 gets the killing blow that wins the 9th round for the Vitality side. Outsiders trying something a bit too overcomplicated for my taste, and it doesn't work out well for them.
Yeah, Dupree shaking his head after that round, not knowing what's going on with the call there. It seemed like the play. The idea that both players have been spotted over towards that B site, you get the smoke down, you get your way up to A, but like you mentioned, overcomplicating things in the scenario leans a 9th round over to Vitality. And again, look at the buy that's being brought forward. They've never had a strong hero. Full gun rounds really for the T side, and ZywOo's already spotted the first. That's Flit to small with the smallest of margins.
If that doesn't characterize as the Outsider's success when it comes to those mid picks on the AWP, I don't know what else does. ZywOo has been winning those fights every single time, whether that be against James directly or against his backup. An opening frag has been found. The Outsiders press into the lower tunnels, regain that mid control. ZywOo watching James catches Apex and brings it into a 4 versus 4.
ZywOo trying to lean on his consistency here on that City side. Unfortunately loses his teammate aggressive, so the AWP answering back on the T side perspective. Trying to gain some of the short control, put some pressure down onto A. The bomb is still outside of long for the meanwhile.
Shot miss from ZywOo, forced to back away. Incendiary on the site. Buster and the bomb carrier and Kicker are being careful in their mid phase. They might not commit entirely to the A site. They have gained dominion over it, but Vitality is still creeping around here. AK Vikinda misses the first head, gets the second, has a second opportunity, but it's Buster there to bail him out. James gets traded in the interim. A 3 versus 2. Outsiders still yet to get the bomb down. misutaaa is still blocking them out of the site. The nade's coming into Gandalf. Kinder goes dropping. Buster on 30 HP to flank in from Kicker. Lands on 1. Burst fire. Gets that second as well. So it's a high note for the Outsiders to close out their T side. 9-6 up the Vitality though. They look fantastic on that CT half. Can they carry it forward? We find out after the break.
From the back roads to back streets, I see you foes trying to trap me, but I don't run like a track meet, even though I'm #1 like an athlete. And the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to ya. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with strife. There's a lesson when you reach my life. It'll be chin-checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. Cause I ain't taking no losses, and I don't even care what the cost is. Are you prepared for the forces I'm about to bring? Cause I'm the boss of all bosses. I penetrate your thoughts and fill them with doubt. You gon' feel where I'm coming and feel what I'm about. If they come in with the drama, I'm wheeling them out. Cause I ain't about to have somebody here stealing my clout. I keep my friends close, enemies closer, cause that's the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. Anybody can see there's only room for one, and that one is me. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare.
To work with, but they clawed it back. And now for Outsiders, leaning back into their pistol round, we saw them win it in the first half.
Sat back in a position for the time being. They have pressed one player forward, and Flit on that short control is leaning in at mid. Aim on the crossfire here, still looking forward to anything that they can find. So far, so little as of the Outsiders' contact. Finally, Flit spots a couple of players in the tunnels, but doesn't take a good kill shot.
It doesn't quite capitalize on the over-aggressive Flit, instead just gathering that info. Jane working with a crack angle in from mid. For Vitality, knowing that they've got a molly to work with, you'd have to imagine it's got to be used late into the round, whether it's down over towards the bomb site on A, or maybe over towards a B play to the back plat area. At the moment, Yakinda's trying to spot out from mid, having a couple of chances, but not quite getting the kill.
Small tags here and there against ZywOo, misutaaa, Yakinda, Jame. Nothing definitive in the early minute in this round. Pistol yet to be won by either side, and there's no signs of who's going to take it. Kicker, good flash position, is going to allow a quick peek in from Flit. It depends on timing. Running away from it. ZywOo so close, and they engage early. They disallow any chance for that flash to have any sort of effect. Smoke goes down as Flit falls with it.
That setup's just been broken, and now for Jame, he's got to try and relieve some pressure away from Kicker down onto the bomb site, playing out from Ramp, because Vitality are coming in for numbers.
Oh, the kill against ZywOo not found. It's him, Magisk, and misutaaa that overwhelm the Outsiders here on the A bomb site. Buster can at least get one trade, but up against 4 more players, all going for the hunt against him. Maybe catch ZywOo as well. They're running out of ammo against the 3rd and 4th players who are peeking in against him. There's no chance of a retake, let alone survival. There's 10 to the board of Vitality as they do find that pistol.
And just a setup like that, when you've got a flash play, you have to have it on point. And if you're getting caught off guard, or there's a slight jiggle, or something happens, and it doesn't quite go the way you panned out, you're going to get rolled over. And that's exactly what the T side were able to bring there. Vitality realized that the first player from Flit is kind of out in the open. They deal with him, and then even notice Magisk is down there at the lower tunnels. He's trying to cut the rotates, and those entries in from the short side were everything onto A.
Scout v scout action already. Apex and Jame have been tagged early. Kicker again with a deagle. Can strike out for the Outsiders. Pick things off ahead of the smoke in the long range challenge. Drop that bomb. Not that they know that yet. 3 players over on the safe side to defend. Vitality have lost that early duel.
Yeah, Kinder playing out from the lower tunnels. If he starts aggressing forward, he's going to start realizing immediately there's nothing here. So that's the tell to the A-side players. Keep defensive. Make sure you don't overextend here and overpeak at all.
Very slow and quiet. Smoke just coming in for the T side. A second one down for Apex. Lit ahead with the Steagles. Fire with fire. Flashbang coming in to support it, and indeed gets both those kills. One blind just by using sheer willpower and prediction, and it's a 5v2 now. The Outsiders bringing this back from the brink. The blind fire from ZywOo can be just as effective as Flip will finally fall, but still to the two-man advantage. Two players on the side, two flankers inbound from CT and from Long. The longer they wait, the better the chance that Buster can strike against them. Both players known, but Kicker will also end up falling. So things are starting to unravel here for the Outsiders as ZywOo watches and Buster gets picked up. Somehow they brought this back to a 2 versus 2.
Apex even going to clear out
No
the
way.
forward area. Yakinda's the last one left. Out to get right with that CZ, losing all of his teammates. And Vitality just trying to toy with him. Tap that bomb, draw the fight, force that CZ out to the open, and they make it happen. What a round in from the two of ZywOo and Apex to keep drawing the mistakes. Outsiders had so much to work with. That is a 5-on-2 advantage on the A side.
It was with rifles v pistols, but the force buy for the Outsiders is going to set them back hard. What reality could we be living in had that round converted for the CT forces? Not to be on this day. Oh, that's got to be heartbreaking for them. Deagles and CZs will come back out for this one without the Kevlar or the util to bolster it. Such great play from them with the utility placement. The fact they've got none of it now probably takes this round for North. Kill from Dupree and Magisk. ZywOo gets involved. 3 kills on the trot. Nothing in it for the Outsiders here.
And it screams volumes of just how well ZywOo's performing here on Dust2. 24 picks, now down to only 10 deaths. You have a look at that round and the characteristics of it tell that's an unlosable round. You should never be throwing away a 5-on-2 like that and somehow Vitality make it work. Buster getting boosted up has already been seen by Apex. And for Vitality to think that this is the start of the best of 3 on Dust2, oh, this looks good for them.
Yeah, far better than we really gave him credit for. We had Outsiders to win this one out and out. Right now, with the way that this Vitality side are playing, not just the CT half, which is statistically their favorite half, also the T side start has been fantastic. How much of that has been down to the conversions? Yes, the 2v5 was skillful, but now comes the real test of metal. M4s across the board, AWP for James. Lacking util for his side of things. Vitality lacking 1 AK on misutaaa. Happy to eventually upgrade and actually passed off towards Apex instead. That 1 rifle in, can still play it as a bonus weapon. Vitality cap. Forward onto Dawn. Will this be their 13th or will the Outsiders get their start?
And misutaaa out for the long challenge, doesn't have teammate support, can get into the blue bin, flash over the top, take that first duel onto Flit and win it out. Down to 22 points of health, he can just stall the time with the util because his teammates are now starting to back him up.
misutaaa took a lot of tag damage to that position, switching out to the Galil as a result here. Going in for a bit more, the Shadow seen, but Kicker, with all the bullets in the world, couldn't find that frag if he wanted to. Yakinda, similar scenario at the edge of the smoke, can't see any contact, will eventually catch Apex, but also tag him low. Still unable to get a kill for the Outsiders.
And now you start thinking about what are the options here for the Outsiders. Is it an over-rotation from one of the B players from Buster to start putting some pressure down onto mid? Because while that's happening, he smoked it off. They're already walking out the upper tunnels.
Gap in that smoke. Who's going to be able to abuse it first? Buster leans in. Yakinda catches Dupree, but Magisk gets Buster in return. Look at the damage being done to Vitality here. This round is still on the table for the Outsiders camp, but I don't know how much info they have towards it. With them now taking the B site, it looks like the Outsiders are out of the round, especially as Yakinda falls, and there's nothing left in it for Kicker and James.
That kill confirms it. As soon as ZywOo gets out, that's it. You're out of there, holding onto your weapons. And just keep in mind, the Outsiders have played Dust2 3 times here in the Pro League. Every single time they've played on T-side start. Against the side of FaZe, they had a 9-6 half on T-side. Against the side of ENCE, they had a 9-6 half on T-side. Against the side of Sprout, they had a 12-3. Now they've come into their last official, the one that matters the absolute most for them, and they get 6 rounds on their T-side in the first half. It does not speak to the advantages that we've seen from them previously.
13 now for Vitality. Only 3 more to go. Outsiders About to concede the opening map unless they do something real quick. It is their pick. Yes, Inferno is coming up next. But a second tactical timeout is justified, and that's exactly what they'll use here.
And we had the conversation too that at the beginning of the show about Dust2, that the last 2 times it's been map picks, it's been incredibly close. We had overtimes in both of those games, 22-18 and 17-19, both respective wins and losses against FaZe and ENCE. Now they're looking to come back from 6-13 down, and this tactical has got to bring out the beast, got to bring out something here in the outsider side, because they are on threadbow, really, of this map just being gone, and maybe even this series.
You're right to mention that 2-0 potential. Again, both maps fantastic for both sides. If they do it, outsiders will be in deep trouble. ZywOo, the AWP trying to get on top of Apex head. Eventually does find the angle in the mid control. Does not see the player there. He's peeking to the right door, not to the crack angle, not to the cross. Outsiders get away scot-free with setting up their defaults. The AWP of Jame set on the short position. It's Buster that gets tagged early out of tunnels. Flashbang in towards mid, yields nothing on the T side.
And without that AWP in the mid portion, it means that James can have to start covering some ground if he wants to rotate over to help out the position. ZywOo waiting for a reface down onto short. Overall, the options here are a fake A to go into a B split.
Set themselves up on the short position. No amount of utility for ZywOo and Apex to work with in terms of selling that fake. Kinder and Buster to hold the defensive in the smoke. Kinder is going to go. Footsteps made by Buster as well. Utility pulled out. Magic could be in trouble. But again, the outsiders have the jump on Vitality. Can't get the kill for it.
As soon as they see that util coming, Buster could put a smoke down, try and stall that B side. XE, smoke going down towards CT and the lurk smoke, waiting for the advantage to come.
When does the hit come, though? Smoke's onto the doorway. ZywOo watching in for mid, having the angle. Cut off rotations potentially seems to be the case here. He's looking onto the window, have to flick down towards the mid to B angle as the T's rotate their way back into the A side. The own AWP of the T side is Jame. Held at Goose for the first shot that he once again misses. Smokes back, flashes over, Molly's back towards Goose. Jame has found a corner though. He can hold his position. Flip needs to strike as KitKat does so. And misutaaa can double up instead. Top of the boxes, double up. ZywOo with a kill back. KitKat can get a trade, but Dupree fast to respond. The bomb goes down. Buster in a 1-on-3 scenario. He does at least find a trade, but surely this retake is off. He thinks so.
Yeah, just hold on to the weapon and save. What a call that is mid-round when pressure's building, with the time being limited and a lack of information. ZywOo's kind of prodding around the mid portion, and he doesn't hear anything, doesn't see any rotations. They bring that bomb back up to A, and Jame has the first contact. He has the jump there on that Goose position to win out the first, to fall back and play time. It doesn't come through. They know that he's there, and the double entry from misutaaa. That is everything on the bomb site, dealing with Flit and then dealing with Jame.
Two more to go. Outsiders, the pressure is mounting. This map up seems to slip further and further out of their fingertips. So much work to be done. So much on the deficit to bring back here. To think as well, a couple different plays, a couple of connected shots on that A defensive especially. Things could have changed so much here for the outsider side. As it stands though, yet to get around on CT. Not to find an opening frag here in round 21. misutaaa will aggress forward to the longhouse, flashed in from his teammates. They have got Flit to defend it, and KitKat's going to rotate the support.
Yeah, they're waiting for the response. Now, KitKat might be able to drive the attention away from that pit position to set his teammate up. Flash over the top is perfect, and outsiders are gaining man advantages out here at long. They do lose KitKat in the meanwhile.
Yeah, 2-for-1 trades at the Eagle of Buster striking out towards that B tunnel position. Will start to aggress as well to try and catch information as ZywOo starts to act here in Longhouse. Meanwhile, Apex making moves up towards the short control, but the onus is still on ZywOo to get all the frags. And they've systematically picked apart the outsiders once again. It's Buster in a 1v3 once again, with 23 HP this time as well to do it in. Smoked off cross. Bomb should cross with it. Oh, what can you do?
This has just been such a sick performance in from ZywOo here on Dust2. And it was just what the spirits needed, what the morale was for the team. This is just ending up to be a one-sided performance on Dust2. My, oh my. No one would have believed us if we said it was a 4-1 lead for Outsiders.
No, they wouldn't have. No, they wouldn't have. I don't even think Outsiders can believe it themselves. Again, in this second half, they have not scored a single round. Nothing from this CT side. It could be a flawless T side of Vitality to close it out. 15-6 as Buster falls. The only rifle that could be saved is out of the round. It should be forced back in for the next one, obviously, because Outsiders, 9 rounds on the trot is what they require to get this to OT. I think Inferno's calling them.
Yeah, definitely so. Lack of consistency across the board with playmakers here for Outsiders. We saw a couple of good rounds here or there by some individuals, but you have a look at those kill numbers and you compare it to the likes of ZywOo. No one is stepping up to be that challenge, and no one stepping up in the second half. Kinder even going for an AWP to look down into the jewel in lower tunnels. He wins it out.
An important start. ZywOo, that impactful player, removed from plays. The AWPer, or one of the AWPers, wins out a fight for the Outsiders, and he's going to dip in for a bit more in mid. Seeing nothing as of right now. Eventually get back to position and defend the B site. They've got the advantage, they just need to hold from here.
Yeah, very clever setup there for Outsiders. So they get one of the AWPs to go very aggressive, and then James more on the passive side. He's actually waiting for that cross of that refrag that's going to be coming through as Kinder leaves. He's been the spotter in from mid, not seeing anything up from the top position, so they're able to back off, play around one another. And for Vitality, they haven't seen this position before, or at least very often on the T side of being down in a 4v5.
Set to angle to await. James Orp leans in. Position of the player down at pit, almost caught the shot. He definitely caught the info and backs off for it. Positions to be held on the short control, diving back towards CT to try and join the M4. Meanwhile, Dupree's Orb strikes back on Kinder. 4 versus 4.
Oh, that's just a Jane play there. 40 seconds left in the clock, waiting for a rotate. Notice the way there's a lack of kits and a lack of utility in all for Outsiders. They can't afford to put themselves in a retake scenario, Jay, and now Vitality are going in for the long contact.
It's all going to come down to the straight Angels here for the Outsiders. Smoke's coming in. James going to get boosted up once again, or at least attempt to do so. Look to the site. Kicker expecting a counteraction boost. Flashes in. Orp ducked down. Apex will get caught. The shot misses. James going to fall away. Buster can find the trade back. 7 seconds. Bomb's got to get denied. misutaaa will fall for it, but Magis locks in the site. James connects the shot, and Dupree is left alone. Planted away from him as well behind the boxes. Not here for long. And as soon as the CTs realize where he is, they should be able to secure the defuse from that. One player crossing, shot missed out. The defuse will get stuck from here. No wallbang potential. Does land on Buster at least. He's attempting to find something through the wall, but just not on the right position, not at the right timing here. And it will be around for the Outsiders camp. Vitality not allowed to win this just yet. A lifeline has been bought for the CIS squad.
We talk about the what-ifs a lot of the time about the Outsiders and some of the situations. What about that bomb plant? Unfortunately, they know, because James is fighting in CT spawn, they don't have the leverage to plant open for Dupree. They don't have that position. They just want to get the bomb down because the time is so limited, and that's not where you want to be down into the post plant. It's an unfortunate round. It gives another lifeline over to the Outsiders, and for Vitality, look at the spawn that ZywOo's got.
Straight into Longhouse. Flashbang will force the AWPer of Jane off angle on the CT side. So not quite an opening frag just for the Vitality side. Nels held as Kicker with a nade in his hand. Will try to put this down in the lower tunnels position. Not seeing Dupree. I think he just spotted in there. Still lands too deep though.
Keep in mind, no kits last round, 1 kit this round. Where is that going to drop, or where's Kicker going to reposition to? Flit out from mid, seeing the gun barrel, knows that Dupree's here.
Being in the cubby corner as well with how far he extended, trying to make no noise, but had to do so with a height that great. Check the corner, hard force it against the AK and wins that fight. All important start. Meanwhile, James spots 2 players on short. Flanks in from long, will be denied as he connects on ZywOo. Finally, he's got his mojo together. As misutaaa trying to strike back in from mid. The bomb on his back here. Apex actually gets into CT in the midst of the chaos and that short control. Gets Kinder. Fit's going to challenge it, and Apex wins the fight. It's Buster alone on B now. Smoked out to stall it. Needs his teammates to find a trade on Apex and get back to this position. Try and hold down some sort of advantage, and indeed they get that trade. Where do Vitality go now?
Man, what a brilliant smoke in from Buster just to stall that play. Because like you mentioned, they lose the CT player of Apex, 30 seconds on the clock. You've got to start counteracting in mid.
Sees misutaaa, but misutaaa wins that fight. Smoke CT, and they're going to try and commit towards this. The AWP, blind as a bat, getting a couple of close shots, but they do not commit. Buster now in the corner, spots misutaaa, but misutaaa domes in a double, and it's James now switching to the AK, charging ahead of the smoke with no kit and no util. He's seen one on the floor, but he's got to commit to this retake now. Magisk up in the window, and he's waiting for this player to peek him.
Oh, timing's going to be everything, and Vitality just know we don't need to overface. We just need to peek together. And James trying to get out the aggressive duel, but it's not coming at all. Majest finally aggressing through the window, 16-7. That felt like a breeze for Vitality in map 1, Jay.
That it did. It started off so positive as well for the Outsiders. Felt like they were going to hold their own on Dust2, but as soon as things went bad, they went real bad. A slight resurgence in the late turn of the first half, and then nothing in the...